official welcome, everyone. I kind of like these soft opens. There's preamble check-ins, which feel important, and then switching into now the public part of this soul circle. So it's the 11th month and the 19th day, 19th of November. I feel already this week to be one of like very heart-centered shifts and very much actually in the emotions. So let's see what the cards confirm. And you guys who are here live, you can feel free to use the chat. I'll actually open that up here. And if you're watching after on YouTube, you can also use the chat, like when people comment. I get comments in my messages more than I get comments publicly, but it's really helpful when people comment publicly. So there's actually like I like both for their certain reasons, but it is really helpful when people can share that. Yeah, okay. So I've been thinking a lot about water and emotions and the connection between, because people have been making fun of me, lightly for using this really big water bottle. But if I go through more of those in a day, then that's more hydration. And sometimes it's, difficult to remember, or you're not in a situation. I'll be walking around a lot. And so you're not always in a situation to quickly grab water. And so anyways, it reminds people to drink water. But what I realize is, for me, it really feels like emotions get cleansed through actually hydration as well. So maybe what I'll bring to this Wednesday soul circle opening will be talking about blessing water and how I use water in my different healing practices. So we might not do an elemental focus every time, but let's start with water on Wednesday. And today, and for the week, carrying us through, we have flow, pain, faith, and sadness, which are very like giggling, but they're actually very intense, I think transitions to go through. It feels to me like this flow and pain came together, that it feels like an oscillation between kind of, once you know how it feels to be in your emotions, or right in your feeling, or confident in your spiritual self, this flow feeling happens. And then whenever you're away from that, we can almost get so attached to that feeling that we think it needs to be around like all the time. Like when we're cooking and when we're walking and when we're focusing on things at work, it's like we think that everything has to feel exactly the same. But I actually rather think that when you're in a time that you're kind of coming up against something, or there's a challenge or a perceived pain, is when we actually are able to get back into the flow. So there has to be this oscillation between. It's sort of the idea that, yeah, maybe suffering is necessary, but not staying in it. Like it's this, maybe kind of these moments are very helpful, but they're also fleeting. And then we have faith and sadness, which, yeah, it speaks to a lot of the heaviness and processing that people are doing at the moment. And I would say I feel lots of different directions of this heart energy this week. So it's sort of just speaking to me as like an overall time to focus on the emotions, and allowing them to get processed through your body, making those connections, which we can talk about as well. And then it's interesting, right? Because we had this flow and I was talking about emotions and water. And then we had the Atlantis card confirming, this is past life card. So I'm not really reading a specific past life, but sometimes this deck is just helpful. So we have Atlantis, and we also have forgiveness. And to me, I mean, obviously just the feeling of peace. And so it feels like part of our message this week is thinking about the dual nature of feelings, that sometimes we have one aspect of the spectrum that allows the openness of the other side of that emotion to also be experienced at some point. It's not the case with every single emotion, so I'd hate to gloss that over. But yeah, I think if this is resonating with you, then you'll know anyway. I'm gonna pull a healing with the fairies card, but it feels like the my focus this week really is about transforming emotions into something and recognizing what's on the other side of any difficult emotions. They're actually so valuable to us. Yeah, make music. I was just dreaming of a little harpist today, actually. So I'm going to take that as extra sign for me that I want to work with a harpist. I was working on my little album for next year, and I was just thinking about instruments and which ones I want, and harpist was high on my list. So but I think this is also maybe putting on music and allowing your body to be able to channel through things. So no matter if you have experience with that or not, it's really as simple as putting on music that really helps you be able to connect to a certain emotion or feeling. So that could be anything that you associate that with. So I won't hold any judgment. Amazing what people find healing in different types of music. So I would say it's sort of a week for even just putting it on your earbuds. You go for a walk, you're sort of freeing your mind up by moving your body and connecting, yeah, and connecting to this music. One more thing as well, we have the Align Your Time workshop coming up at the end of this month. So that'll be November 30th. I said I'd check the date I have set for that. November is flying by in like a really nice way for me. And it's that Thursday. Let's see. Yeah, the 30th, November 30th. So we'll have Align Your Time 2 then. And I was working with the concepts of it for today. And I think that I'll ask you all to bring some sort of like notebook or cue cards. I think that is a general way that we all tend to kind of show up to whenever I do the Align Your Time things or Align Your Life. But yeah, I'm going to go through 2 and 3 by the end of the year. And then I think I'll do a repeat in the new year for anyone else who wants to retake it or enjoy it again. And it'll just help me refine it anyway. So Align Your Time 1, part 2, which is going to come up soon on the 30th. And then we'll do part 3 before the end of the year. And then I'll repeat them. And I'm excited. This is going to be more about your mission, and then also about like planning and putting things into practice. And I think we'll start doing the transformation quests in kind of conjunction with this Align Your Time work. And I'm really excited for that. Very excited. And I'm sticking to another daily habit right now, just working on some of the content and how I'm going to work with this transformation quest. But I know we're all looking forward to making some of these commitments, soft commitments to self. Okay, let's switch into the individual reading time, because I see we have another joiner and I want to make sure we have time. So for anyone who is on YouTube, if you want to be a part of getting individual readings and joining the Soul Circle when we actually talk and connect on what's going on for us, do we relate to the collective reading or is something else entirely going on? And we do some feedback and some intuitive work as well. You can find that on the links below. Okay.